Hi guys, in today's video we are going to do a monthly budget here in Nairobi, Kenya. Now this is going to be a bit of an exaggerated budget because I am kind of in tourist mode. I'm staying in like an Airbnb. It's not technically Airbnb, but I'll go through all of that with you nevertheless and let you know what I'm spending on a monthly basis since I've now been here 1 month. And we're going to kick it off coming up next. Stick around.
Got these plans stuck in my head. Southeast Asia calling me instead. Bangkok nights and Bali shores. Sick of dreaming, want something more. Pack your bags, don't hesitate. Gio, let's go before it's too late. Time keeps slipping away from us.
$28.18. This is going to give me about 4 or 5 meals. And I got some staple items that I won't need to buy again. By the way, first, every time you go, you need to bring this bag with you. This is a Rhino bag for 26 shilling. Once you buy one, you just keep bringing it with you, you know. They don't have plastic here, which is a good thing. This is 144 shilling for this cling wrap, so I can individually wrap up some meat. Okay, we got some thyme, which is 75 shilling. We have some ground pepper, which is 300 shilling. I like the grinder better. Some sea salt, which is the grinder also for 260 shilling. Some rosemary, which is 70 shilling. And I got a block of this chili chive cheddar. This is probably one of the more expensive items. 730 shilling. 2 of these Greek yogurts that are cherry with chia seed. 179 shilling per yogurt. Got some extra virgin olive oil. That's what I like to cook with. 790 shilling. And the main staple item here, I have lamb shoulder chops. There's actually like 5 or 6 in here. So I've got 5 or 6 meals in here. I will defrost. I will wrap them up individually and I'll just take them out. And I'm kind of not really carnivore diet, but kind of I stay away from the sugars mainly. Yes, the yogurt has some sugar. Yes, I understand that. And I will cook it in rosemary, thyme, sea salt, pepper, olive oil, and I'll do a side of like some avocado or some slices of cheese. And that'll be my meal. And so really this comes out to about $4 per meal because this stuff will not need to be repeated. So I can just buy the meat. I don't have to buy all that stuff with it and have some meal. And so now I'll continue with what I've spent for the month on groceries and then dining out. Okay, before I get into the groceries, the coffees, the dining out, dating, rent, all that kind of stuff, again, I want to explain that I am in tourist mode. This is not how I would live long term here, obviously, but I am going to show you my current spending. And then I'll kind of explain what a normal lifestyle would cost here as well. So you can compare and contrast if you're just coming over for a month, 2 months, 3 months, or if you would be coming over long term. So tourist mode, just so you know what I mean, would be like this short-term rental here versus renting a long-term apartment on a lease. Eating out most days. Coffee shops, cafes, casual dates. Tours, excursions, weekend trips, transportation, convenience over cost. So tourist mode is convenience over optimization. So tourist mode, a Airbnb, or again, this is not really Airbnb. I found this place on booking.com. And then I went here directly and just went to the office because it looked nice. And I said, do you have units available? And then I bargained it down to 4,000 shilling per day. And so if you take that 4,000 shilling per day at 30 days, we are talking 120,000 shilling per month. And again, the conversion will be down below. Now, what that includes is electric, internet, water. It includes cleaning about every 3 days, and the leasing agent actually comes and does my laundry for me. So that does include a lot. Those are extra costs that I don't have to deal with versus if I were to be long term. And again, this is fully furnished. It is flexible. She just tells me, hey, just let me know at least a day before if you want to extend. And then I just say, hey, I'm going to extend another 10 days. And basically I'm waiting for my passport to be ready. Then I'm going to take off to Mombasa. And also there's no lease. So it's very convenient, and it might even be something somebody would want to do even for the long term, to be honest. You don't have to deal with a lot of different things. Might be something that I would be interested in myself if I didn't have the rent that I was still paying in Bangkok. But again, you're paying for flexibility, safety, location, no furniture, no deposits. Local rent is going to be much cheaper. Monthly lease plus basic furnishings. And of course, the cost is going to drop dramatically. And the areas, again, that I recommend are Lavington, Karen, Westlands, Kilimani. Those are all good areas to stay in within Nairobi. And a lot of expats stay in those areas. Now, guys, I'm just going to be flashing up the totals on the bottom here of what I've spent for the month, okay? My current spending for food and coffee and eating out, I'm averaging about 10 to 15 US dollars per meal. It is a little bit on the high end. Yes, I do agree. But typically I go out, I have a nice meal, one nice meal, and maybe I'll do like a snack later on while I'm out. But I have kind of converted now. I did show you at the beginning of the video a little local groceries. So I'm trying to convert a little bit more into maybe just cooking at home a bit more. But they are more Western style cafes. I'm not out eating street food or, you know, things like that. Even though you probably could. They have barbecue and things like that. Coffee meetings, you know, like dates, grab and go meals. And when you're out exploring and when you're in tourist mode, well, food becomes entertainment, right? Entertainment is dining out, going, seeing new restaurants, new locations. And while you're out, you're going to be grabbing a meal. Now, normal living, of course, is going to be cooking more. Local food spots, occasional restaurants. Coffee becomes more of a treat, not a habit. I probably would just buy a coffee pot and make coffee as I need it. And on a special occasion, like a coffee date or something, then I would go buy a coffee. And right now I go out every morning and I buy a double latte at the coffee shop next door, which costs 380 shilling. And food costs are very lifestyle dependent, I think, in Nairobi. All right, transportation and getting around. Really, you have a few options here in Nairobi. Most people are going to be, at least us foreigners, are going to be taking Bolt or Uber. And the rides are pretty cheap. If you're just going around the areas, you're just spending $2, $3. Now, if you wanted to go do a long excursion, you probably would just hire a private driver to stay with you for the entire day or half a day. It just makes more sense. So you got the ride-hailing apps, Uber and Bolt, convenience over cost, more spontaneous movement. You know, I go out a lot more than if I were living here. And the short trips do add up because I'm out daily. And every trip is $2, $3, $4, or $5, depending on where I'm going. Now, if I was long-term living in this area, it's very safe to walk around during the day and probably even at night, but at nighttime, once night hits, I'm usually in, unless I'm going to meet somewhere, and then I'm going to take an Uber or a Bolt anyway. But I could very easily walk in my neighborhood. I showed a little short video of that the other day. Fewer random trips, and you start to get into a routine when you live long-term. So monthly routines reduce transportation spending. And even possibly owning a vehicle later, which is probably something I wouldn't do personally in Nairobi. I don't like to buy anything that holds me in one place. That if I buy a car, then if you wanted to move suddenly, you decide, well, I don't really like it here anymore. And you got to go through the process of selling it and all that. And I just don't want to deal with that. I'd rather just pack a suitcase and go. So dating and social life and entertainment. I've been dating a lot more since I'm kind of new in the city. And again, I'm in tourist mode. Of course, you know, eventually you're going to find a girl that you like and you're going to be doing a lot more just hanging out at home, watching Netflix or cooking together or whatever, things like that. Or maybe doing a nature walk versus going out to eat all the time. Coffee dates, dinners, activities, kind of the social curiosity phase, you know, and you want to get out, you want to try new things, you want to see places. So it's all kind of going to add up a bit. And when you're new somewhere, you tend to socialize more. And that eventually does fade though. Long term, you're going to end up getting a smaller social circle, less frequent dates, more routine-based spending. You know, because currently right now, I'm going to be honest, I've been dating 2-3 times a week, you know. I haven't found that girl that just says, wow, you know. But there's a lot of great girls here. But I'm kind of in the dating mode. And then you have excursions and expenses. Weekend trips, nature parks, tours, things you won't do every month long term. You know, once you see a tourist attraction, you usually don't repeat that tourist attraction. So once you get past that tourist mode and you've been to all these different places, well, those things kind of go away. And then maybe an occasional coffee shop, dining out, a date, a movie, bowling. They got great entertainment here. They got movies and nature walks. They got a lot of things to do here in Nairobi. So a realistic long-term budget comparison. Again, I'm going to give you the numbers. I haven't added it up in my head yet during the video, so I will put it down here. Tourist mode, which I'm in for the month. It's going to be higher, flexible, more experience-driven. Normal living, of course. It's going to be lower, routine, optimized. I just want you to know that Nairobi can actually be very affordable, but only if you live like a resident, not a visitor, which is what I'm doing right now. So if you guys want more of a long-term rent breakdown, dating costs, and a cost comparison like Nairobi versus Mombasa, or even versus Bangkok, or even versus the Philippines, I certainly can do that. But for now, I just wanted to flash up some numbers and kind of give you a total right here of what I spent for the whole month that I've been here now. And guys, I'd rather show the real numbers while I'm here than to pretend I'm living cheaply here when I'm not. So guys, just so you know what I've been using for, like, example, to pay the rent, I've been using my Wise account. Wise, I direct deposit it directly into the owner's account instantly. So Wise, again, I can't preach it enough. Wise is fantastic. I use my Capital One card for the rewards and the cash back. And I use my One Bank card that reverses my ATM fees. And then I have a backup credit card and a backup bank card as well. And those stay locked up with my passport and everything else here. And one credit card, one bank card, my Philippines ID, not my US ID, goes with me when I go out, and I don't carry that much. And again, I've been finding that a lot of places won't accept cash. They'll say cashless. We only accept card or M-Pesa. M-Pesa is like the e-wallet system here in Kenya, similar to what GCash would be in the Philippines or other e-wallet systems around Southeast Asia.
Got these plans stuck in my head. Southeast Asia calling me instead. Bangkok nights and Bali shores. Sick of dreaming, want something more. Pack your bags, don't hesitate. Gio, let's go before it's too late. Time keeps slipping away from us. Keep living life.